Was I wrong about the W140 S class? So recently my buddy Eric is one of my really close friends. He lives in Charleston, and he has an R129 SL600, and he and I are just really good friends. We're close, and we talk a lot. And so he's recently been on the hunt for a 140, despite the fact that he knows it's a bad idea, or is it? So I made this video to address two questions. One, is the market for the 140 actually expanding, or has it been a secret market the whole time where really great cars sell for top money? And was I wrong about it? Is it actually a better car than I think it was? And that's going to be a tough question to answer, because I don't really like to change my mind. For example. Anyway, the first question is a very deep philosophical question, because what it means is, are there people out there who really wanted a 140 when it was new and are now claiming that dream by buying the best cars in the market? Now, granted, the best 140s in the market are like $20,000, and if you have like a S500 Grand Edition with 15,000 miles on it, or a 99 CL600 or something like that, you know, maybe we're talking about 30,000 or 35,000. I might be wrong. Okay, so if I'm wrong, leave a comment below. Let me know I'm wrong. But for the most part, that's where top money is for one of these nice cars. Now, my friend Jamie Kopczynski bought his S420, which is like right at 100,000 miles, and was a really well-kept car for around $7,000. I told Jamie that he was crazy, but apparently he's been doing okay with the car. However, there are some things that I have to warn you about. The first one is that if you're buying a 140, you have to have a lot of patience and willingness to troubleshoot electrical problems. My friend Aaron Newman, who has a CL500, had mentioned this, that he had problems with his ABS and traction control system, and it ended up being an electrical connector, despite the fact that SDS would not surrender any useful information. It boiled down to an electrical connection issue that Jamie was able to find. So Jamie's a pretty talented and patient guy, if you ask me. On the other hand, it seems like the W140s only bring really good money when there's something special. So if you have like a 1993 300 SEL, you might have a hard time finding a market for that car, even if it's the best car in the world, at anything over $10,000. Whereas if it were like a really well-kept 126 420 SEL or 300 SEL, like a 50,000 mile example in good shape will sell easily for over 10 grand. Part of what I think has hurt the 140 is the complication and the fact that Mercedes does not seem to be adamantly supporting the model. They actually did a better job of supporting the 107 and the 126 series cars than the 129 and the 140, partially because the 140 and 129 cars are so damn complicated. I don't like 140s personally. Now, does that make them bad cars? Well, even if a car goes up in value, like let's say a Jaguar E-Type V12 or a Ferrari 550 Maranello, it doesn't mean that they are reliable cars where you can get parts and easily find service. In fact, cars that tend to be more complicated, like the 300 SEL 6.3, have a greater reputation for unreliability, such as the AMG Hammer twin cam cars, or have a reputation of not being liked that much when they were new and not selling very well, such as the let's see here, what's a Mercedes like that nobody really was into? The well, I don't think there really were any, but we'll look at an example from another car, a car that people just didn't think was a great car, and didn't do very well in the marketplace. A good example of this would be like the Lamborghini Yalpa or Halpa, or however you say it. These cars are coming back with a vengeance now in the market. Or the Ferrari 412 automatic. I don't think a lot of people wanted a Ferrari with an automatic transmission, and so, but sales figures were still okay. It's just, those cars are even bouncing back. So the 140 doesn't bounce back like other Mercedes do. Most Mercedes come on strong in the marketplace because they're stylish, reliable, parts are available. The cars are extremely well made. You can actually use them and drive them, which you can use and drive a 140. I'm not saying you can't. A lot of people do. The problem with the 140 is it's more like some of these super complicated other European cars, like the BMW 850 or the Aston Martin Vantage or the Jaguar XJS V12. These cars are also coming back in the marketplace, but it doesn't mean they're simple or easy cars to live with. They're actually quite complicated. My sentiments for the 140 reflect its complication compared to other Mercedes Benz. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily a horrible car, an unrepairable car. It just means it's going to be harder to keep everything working right. You're going to spend a lot more money. You don't know if there's necessarily light at the end of the tunnel. And I have to emphasize that the 96 and later 140s were much better than the first batch of cars, the 1992 to 1995 versions, which had all kinds of electrical problems. So if you're going to get one, get a later one. The only exception to this rule, I'd say, are the diesel 140s. Somebody actually left a comment on my page saying that I was an idiot because I think that I overlooked the goodness of the S350. And that's true. The 300 SD 140 chassis, the S350, and the S300 turbo diesel were all very good cars. However, they were not better than any 126 or any 123 diesel. So just so we know, in the hierarchy of Mercedes diesels, 126, 123, 116, 114, 115 are all better than 140. But the 140 diesels are still good cars. I'd rather have a diesel 140 than a gas 140. Anyway, if you didn't like this video, then let me know in the comments. And if you did, please like it, share it, and subscribe. If you're one of our Patreon members, thank you for watching. And if you ever need to be talked off of a ledge because you're thinking of buying one of these cars, let's have a conversation about it first. I'm always here to help you. In the meantime, if you do own a 140, good job taking care of it. And that applies to anybody who has a classic Mercedes Benz. Thank you so much and have a great day.